I slammed my hands against the steering wheel, shouting at the empty car. Special night, huh? All that dancing just for me, right? 10 years of marriage, and this is how she finally showed her true colors. My mind shifted from rage to problem solving. Action would fix this mess. Without thinking, I grabbed my phone and dialed Evelyn Carter. Once my assistant, she left because of Ashley's jealousy. Jealousy of her warmth, her confidence, and how well we worked together. When Evelyn answered, her voice was soft but surprised. Paul, everything okay? No, Evelyn, everything is far from okay. I laid out the whole ugly story. Ashley threw away your marriage for a one-night stand, she gasped. She's a damn fool. Listen, don't go home tonight. Stay here. You need a friend. Before heading over, I made calls. First to my parents to take the kids, then to Ashley's parents. Her mom refused to believe me. Call her, I said flatly. She won't pick up or drive by the house. Her car will be untouched because she's too busy with her new boyfriend. At home, I packed a bag and left my wedding ring on the table, with a simple note. The divorce papers will be served in a few days. I'll be staying with Evelyn Carter, someone who actually respects me. Thank you for our children. May you and the guy you left me for rot in hell. When I reached Evelyn's, she pulled me into an embrace, and everything I'd been holding back hit me at once. Later, as I sipped coffee, I remembered something. Wait, I videotaped Ashley dancing with that guy. Evelyn's eyes widened. You have proof? I sent the video to our parents, her sister, and a few mutual friends with a simple message. Ashley made her choice tonight. Less than 10 minutes after this video, she slipped out with Caleb Miller. If you wonder what she's doing now, this should give you an idea. This is why I'm divorcing her. The next morning, Evelyn and I watched our security feed. Ashley and Miller arrived in his flashy red Ferrari and barely made it inside before things heated up. Minutes later, her parents walked in, and the chaos exploded. When Miller turned violent, I didn't hesitate. I called 911. My wife is being attacked. Her father tried to stop it and got hurt. Send police and an ambulance. By the time we arrived, the police had Miller in cuffs. Ashley was sobbing, and her father was on the floor, injured. Ashley's mom clung to me. I didn't believe you, she cried. What did I do wrong? The damage was done. But at least now, everyone saw the truth. Ashley's father's face twisted in pain as he looked at her, disappointment shadowing his features. Easy now, one of the EMTs said, placing a steady hand on his shoulder. Looks like you've got a few broken ribs. Just take shallow breaths. We'll get you to Mercy Central soon. Ashley's face crumpled, tears falling as she lowered her head. When they wheeled her father out, a crowd gathered. Neighbors, family, even a few old friends. 2 phones were already up, recording the spectacle. I ran a hand down my face, addressing the crowd. Thanks for coming, but that's enough for today. I ushered them away, ignoring their whispers. Only my dad and Ashley's mom stayed behind. My mom had already whisked the kids off to McDonald's. God bless her. I turned to Ashley, my voice low but firm. Go take a shower and put some real clothes on. She grabbed the crumpled dress from the floor and hurried upstairs. The silence that followed was heavy. Ashley's mom shook her head. Paul, I'm so embarrassed. How can I ever apologize for this? My dad stepped in, calm but resolute. You don't have to. I've known Ashley for over 10 years. Once, she was a daughter anyone would be proud of. But somewhere along the way, that man changed her. This isn't your fault. Don't carry her mistakes like they're your own. Ashley, now on the stairs, in fresh clothes, whispered, He's right. This is all my fault. I'm selfish, irresponsible. I'll never fix this, will I? For a moment, I wanted to comfort her, but the weight of her betrayal crushed that instinct. Ashley, I said, my voice steady, this wasn't just a mistake. You planned this. You left me, left our kids, so you could be with him. So, tell me, how exactly do you fix that? Her composure shattered, and she fled back upstairs. Moments later, My mom's car pulled into the driveway. My dad squeezed my shoulder. "We'll keep the kids until tomorrow night. Longer if you need." "Thanks." "Dad," a message from Evelyn popped up on my phone. "Are you coming back or staying?" I hadn't even noticed her leave. Ashley's mom broke the quiet. "The hospital just called. We can visit him now." I grabbed my keys. "Let's go." As we drove, another message came through. "Where did you go, Ashley?" I didn't answer. Let her sit with the silence. Let her know what it feels like to be left in the dark. Ashley's mom broke the quiet. "The hospital just called. We can visit him now." I grabbed my keys. "Let's go." As we drove, another message came through. "Where did you go, Ashley?" I didn't answer. Let her sit with the silence. Let her know what it feels like to be left in the dark. At the hospital, Ashley's father looked worse than I'd expected. Pale, his breathing shallow. But when his wife entered, his battered face softened. She took his hand, whispering through her, "Tears, my hero." Later, I called the detective from the scene. "Do you have contact info for the DA? And any press outlets who'd want this story?" The assistant district attorney was quick to respond. "Hell yes. We'll need all the evidence we can get. That man's lawyers will spin this any way they can. Evelyn's brother-in-law worked at Channel 6. "Want me to call him?" she asked. "Yeah. He'll love this story." For hours, I combed through security footage. Ashley and Miller's arrival, the fight that broke out when her dad confronted them. Miller didn't hesitate. He knocked Ashley's father to the ground and kept kicking him again and again. Evelyn paled. This is worse than Ray Rice. "Daryl, you need to see this." Seconds later, the footage was on its way. And soon, the world would know exactly who Miller really was. I sent her straight to voicemail. A text followed almost immediately. "Where are you?" I stared at it, then smirked. Time for her to get a taste of what I went through. Instead of answering, I shot back a single message. "I'm with Evelyn." Not another word. She called again. I let it go to voicemail. Instead, I forwarded the footage of the attack to the police and the prosecutor's office. As the dust settled, I called Ashley's mom to check on her husband. "He's sleeping again," she said. "The police already came by to take a statement. They said they have a video of that bastard beating up my husband for trying to protect his own daughter." "Good," I replied. "Mom, I'm contacting a few attorneys. I'm going to sue him, his team, and the NFL. Once I find the right lawyer, I'll pass their information along to you. Maybe we can make sure this costs him," she sighed, sounding exhausted. "Whatever happens, he's going to pay for what he did to my husband." For dinner, I took Evelyn to a small Italian bistro. At least I had the energy to shower and change. When we got back, I collapsed onto the spare bed and fell into the deepest sleep I'd had in weeks. When I woke up, I scrolled through my messages, every single one from Ashley. Voicemails, texts, deleted, unread, unheard, but a few stood out. Watch the morning news and pick up the Times. Curious, I turned on the TV. The moment Channel 6's broadcast began, I knew Darl had done his job. The lead story, Miller arrested for rape and assault. I smirked. Trust the media to go straight for the most outrageous headline. The newspaper had been a little more careful. The article stated that police were still investigating and had not yet interviewed all witnesses. But unnamed sources claimed Miller had been arrested for raping a married woman in her own home and brutally assaulting her unarmed father when he tried to intervene. The player, his team, and the league all declined to comment, citing an ongoing investigation. But the damage had already been done. Evelyn and I recorded the Channel 6 newscast. They aired edited snippets, blurring out anything too explicit, but Miller's arrogance was impossible to hide. The footage of him berating an elderly man, kicking him while he lay helpless on the ground, that played on a loop, and it did not look good. Sunday is usually a slow news day. Not this time. By the afternoon, every major outlet had picked up the story. The national media ran with it, and before the day was over, it was clear. Miller would never play professional soccer again. His charities scrambled to distance themselves. His team suspended him indefinitely. And the NFL, after very carefully reviewing what happened to Ray Rice and other disgraced athletes, issued a public statement. The league will not tolerate acts of violence of this nature. His endorsements? Gone. His career? Over. By evening, several attorneys had reached out to Channel 6 asking for my contact information. This wasn't just a scandal anymore. It was justice. Evelyn, my former assistant, stepped up as my manager. Together, we hired an attorney to sue Miller's team, the league, and his sponsors. The same legal team represented Ashley's father. While I hired a separate lawyer for the divorce, though tempted to make Ashley pay, I kept it fair. She got the house and primary custody of the kids. She was a good mother, and with the settlements coming, money wasn't an issue. Miller's troubles escalated as more victims came forward. Our attorneys uncovered ignored complaints detailing his predatory behavior and his teammates' intimidation tactics. When it became clear the team had covered it up for years, the owner was forced to sell. He got a good price, but lost nearly all of it in the class action lawsuit. Even Morrison's, the club where Miller prowled for women, got sued. Despite his talent, no team would touch him. Every comeback attempt was met with bad press and public outrage. Thanks to Evelyn's son-in-law, a media insider, the pressure never let up. Eventually, Miller gave up and became a high school soccer coach in Alaska. He couldn't even land a used car commercial. With my financial future secure, I took the kids on a Disney vacation. Though they sensed our family had changed, extra love from their grandparents helped. Ashley eventually admitted her mistakes, took responsibility, and became a great co-parent. She remarried years later, and though we were civil, I often caught her glancing at Evelyn, fully aware she had destroyed her own marriage. After my divorce, Evelyn made her move. We built a life filled with love, loyalty, and passion. She gave me 3 more children, and though my older kids didn't see them often, we remained a close family. Best of all, Evelyn never once made me feel less. Life with her was a pleasure, and trust me, the next story makes this one look like a fairy tale. Subscribe and stay one step ahead of cheaters.